Now, local news about local people. This is NewsLink Indiana.
Hello and thanks for joining us at NewsLinkIndiana.com for Thursday, February 23rd, 2006. I'm Abby Walton. Burglaries have more than doubled in the Ball State area during the past year. NewsLink Indiana's Beth Campus tells you what's going on and what's being done about it.
It happened not so long ago.
I called her and she was like crying and she was like, somebody was in our house, some guy was in my room and he told me that he was going to hurt me.
With the rise in crime, police have been extra busy.
It's an issue we're still studying and trying to get a grasp of exactly what the cause is and how we can have a positive effect on those numbers.
Other universities aren't having the same crime increases, which have some students wondering if Ball State and the Muncie police are really doing everything they can to keep their students safe.
These girls had to go home to feel safe, you know what I mean? Like they had to go away from school, away from their friends to feel safe, and I just think that's really not good.
Police say at least part of the problem is students aren't careful enough.
Keep your doors and windows locked when you're not at home, especially even in the residence hall. If you're not in your room, lock your door. Those kind of things that you can make yourself self-aware of.
In Muncie, Beth Campus, NewsLink Indiana.
Students and residents of the community can check out the Daily News and Ball Bearings website for more information on campus safety. And we're just over a day from Muncie's biggest fundraiser of the year. But when Mardi Gras takes over downtown this weekend, you can expect the beads, the partiers, and the protesters. Ticket sales are up and local businesses are preparing for Saturday night's festivities, selling beads and preparing to bring the spirit of New Orleans to Muncie. But now the festival that drew 11,000 participants last year is gaining national attention. A local church and 85 community members say they'll protest the event, which they claim brings nudity and drunkenness to the city. Event planners seem to welcome the attention.
Muncie Gras and being down here for the party that one night, you really can make that any kind of experience that you want.
And that celebration begins at 6 p.m. on Walnut Street and runs till 3 in the morning. The state has fired the head of the Pendleton Juvenile Correction Facility today. Superintendent Jane Burns was dismissed after a series of problems involving correctional officers and guards. The Madison County prosecutor is pursuing charges of misconduct against 3 Pendleton guards. And Grant County is helping change women's lives. NewsLink Indiana's Michelle Long tells you how a local house is becoming a home for residents in need.
2 good deeds have built a miracle.
It's a miracle. I would say it's a blessing from God.
With the generous donation of this house and the hands of male residents of the Grant County Rescue Mission, Marion will soon have the Open Hearts Women's Shelter.
We will dedicate this debt-free.
The new extended stay shelter's interior was completely rebuilt, and now there's just one more thing left to do.
It needs a woman's touch. It's had men in here working, moving stuff in, fixing stuff. It needs warmth.
Women from the community will start to decorate March 1st.
It is Grant County Rescue Mission home, but at the same time, it is really Grant County's home.
A home that will house between 10 and 12 women in need.
God's hand had to be in it because no man by himself could accomplish so much in so little time.
An accomplishment which Ballard says won't be the last. In Marion, Michelle Long, NewsLink, Indiana.
The opening celebration will take place on March 14th. A fire in Randolph County earlier today destroyed a house, leaving one man homeless. The home was at 250 North between 500 and 600 West. No one was at home at the time of the fire except for horses and dogs, which were all safe. Owner Jeff Stevens said he had just finished remodeling his home and he lost his brand new Harley Davidson.
I'm going to say this is probably going to be a total loss because it took the whole ceiling out of all the rooms in there because it got up in the attic part and went right straight through with the wind blowing the way it was.
Firefighters say electrical problems caused that fire. More than 2 decades later, an Anderson woman faces sentencing for murdering her sister. Back in 1983, the daughter of Anderson Mayor Lester McDonald pleaded guilty to the crime. Carolyn McDonald never went to trial because she was judged incompetent. She spent the last 23 years at Richmond State Hospital. Officials there now say McDonald can stand trial. It's not clear that she'll wind up in jail. She's been hospitalized for the last 23 years and she's 72 years old. Sentencing is scheduled for March 3rd. And now here's Joe Thomas with a look at our weather. And Joe, it was actually quite pleasant today.
It was very spring-like, very high above for the February weather, and we are expecting those conditions to continue into tomorrow. Luckily, however, they're not going to stick around. Today we actually reached a high of 48 degrees with that mild air that's in place over our region. As I said before, it will stick around, so enjoy the warmth while you can. However, we do have a bitter change on the way this weekend. I'll tell you just how cold it's going to get in our 5-day forecast coming up. As you can see, overnight lows tonight in the area. Muncie is going to be at 22, Indianapolis at 23, as cold as 19 in Chicago and South Bend throughout the overnight tonight. So let's take a look at our surface map and I'll show you the jet stream here and why those temperatures are going to stick around the way they are. You can see we have a pretty zonal flow here that's going to keep the temperatures at average for this time of year. As we get into later this week and into the early weekend, you can see there's going to be a trough starting to build, and it's just going to seep down lower and lower until on Sunday the trough completely encompasses our area, bringing us much colder conditions throughout the beginning of the week next week. You can see this cold front here that's passing through tonight, giving us the lows in the lower 20s actually for that evening tomorrow. And then the warm front bringing us warm temperatures tomorrow. Another cold front will pass through, but it will keep the precipitation to our south. So rain in our southern region here, however, partly cloudy skies throughout most of our region. Partly cloudy, very nice conditions luckily, but it will dip down into colder conditions. Highs tomorrow, 45 in Muncie, 46 in Indianapolis, as warm as 52 in Bloomington, so enjoy that last warm day before we have another cold streak hit coming this weekend. A low of 21 degrees tonight. Partly cloudy conditions, winds out of the north-northwest from 13 to 16 miles an hour. So it will get a little chilly out there tonight, but look at this high for tomorrow, 45 degrees, winds out of the north-northwest at 7, partly sunny and mild all day long. So we're going to reach 45 degrees throughout tomorrow, and then take a look at this weekend we have in my 5-day forecast here. Partly sunny skies, so decent weather, but those temperatures are much colder, as you can see. Saturday's when it really starts showing and dipping down. Sunday we're going to be at a high of 29, and that will continue on Monday with a slight chance of some snow flurries on Monday. After that, temperatures much colder.
I am definitely not ready for that snow to come this weekend, but it's not going to be severe, is it?
No, we're not expecting anything significant as of right now. Keep watching the weather, just flurries on Monday. The weekend should be pretty decent.
It is February, so I guess a little flurries are acceptable.
A few more weeks left of winter.
All right, thanks, Joe. As of right now, Indiana wineries are in trouble. The state Senate today killed a bill that would have allowed wineries in the state to ship their product to state residents. Without that bill, shipments must stop as of March 1st.
You need a passing grade. You don't want to wait 12 years to find out you've been played. You thought you were learning. Man, you thought you were cute. They sent you a test, and then you're talking about,
Wilson Middle School's 6th and 7th graders rapped their way through English class today. The program is called Rap, Rhythm, and Rhyme.
it's $100.
It's all about teaching kids the skills they need for the I-STEP test in a way that keeps them motivated.
Can you imagine being in a room with 6th and 7th graders, over 600, and at one time, all 600 heads do this at the same time?
Cork has taken his program to more than 500 school districts in the United States. And it may be February, but some Muncie residents are already thinking about December. NewsLink Indiana's Tiffany Schreier explains why one Christmas volunteer program is already celebrating.
We are gathered here today for a very special announcement.
Tiny Adams fought fires, fought for legislation, and for children less fortunate.
This was one of his greatest loves.
Each year, Toys for Tots helps children right here in this community enjoy a good Christmas. And this year, with the help of a new endowment fund, some of the funding for the program will be a sure thing.
A goal of $100,000 has been set for the fund.
With this goal, Toys for Tots will be guaranteed $5,000 each year on top of donations.
And this is just a small amount at one fire station that was people's brought in.
Volunteers work year-round to ensure Christmas presents for 2,000 children. Now the team can breathe easier.
We're always looking for more money, and this is one check that I know is going to come in every year.
No question, Tiny Adams would be thrilled.
This will make children happy for so many years.
In Muncie, Tiffany Schreier, NewsLink, Indiana.
And those are the headlines for East Central Indiana for Thursday, February 23rd, 2006. Please join us again tomorrow right here at newslinkindiana.com.